People always dreamed about an artificial companion for playing games. Already in the late 18th century, a very popular automaton was developed which was able to play chess with a human. Today people are used to use chess-playing Turk for playing games as a hidden person. Either these opponents are pure virtual, as in computer games, or not interactive like chess computers. The next step is a smart physical opponent which is able to play a game on a real game board in the real world. The challenge is to combine the different areas such as game theory, software engineering, and robotics. Pylos is a popular two-player strategic board game. You can buy it in any toy store. The game comprises a pyramid board with 16 hollows, 15 light and 15 dark spheres. The goal of the game is to place the last sphere on top of the pyramid. The rules of Pylos are very simple. At the beginning the board is empty and all spheres are in the reserve. The game goes on until one player places a sphere on top of the pyramid or a player runs out of spheres in the reserve. Each player turn by turn puts a sphere from his reserve into any of the holes of the board. Once a square of spheres is formed on the board, the player has two more options. Either he puts a sphere from his reserve on the square, or moves one of his spheres already on the board up to the square in order to save spheres. A player who makes a square of its own color may take back one or two spheres to his reserve. An interesting property of the game is that one can undo moves. Unlike other games, it is not granted that the game ends after a finite number of moves. Pylos has a high game tree complexity, because the same situation may reoccur later in the game. We solve the game by using state space complexity, which is less complex than the game tree. We are able to provide the optimal winning move for any reachable winning situation. The database we currently use to play the game optimally is about 30 gigabytes and runs on a dedicated server. In order to be able to play a game like Pylos, a robot has to master several challenges. It has to recognize the situation on the game board, has to decide what valid move to do next, and has to physically manipulate the spheres on the board. The Pylos playing robot is built up by off-the-shelf components. It comprises a standard katana robotics arm, a two-finger gripper, a standard firewire camera, a game board with an easy-to-use sphere reserve. The robot recognizes the situation on the game board by detecting the spheres with circle fitting and color matching. The estimation is cross-checked with the possible moves from the successor situation. The manipulation of the spheres was taught in manually. We use a customized reserve to make the grasping of the spheres easier for the robot. As a result, we now have a robot which is able to play Pylos autonomously. It recognizes when a human player did a move and reacts with its own move by physically moving spheres. The robot is able to play optimally, which makes it hard for humans to beat the robot. In the future, we want to generalize the hardware and software for various board games like chess or Nine Men's Morris. The ultimate goal would be a general platform which is able to recognize various board games and offers to play the game with someone.
Checkmate.